Have you ever felt discriminated against on the basis of the color of your skin? Do you know what apartheid means? Apartheid is the segregation of people on the basis of their race. In South Africa, this system of institutionalized segregation existed from 1948 to as late as the 1990s. Do you know where South Africa is? Pick up a map and see if you can spot it. Does the name Nelson Mandela ring a bell? Well, Nelson Mandela was the first black president of free South Africa. He spent 27 years in jail due to his fight against the apartheid government. When his fight ended and his political party, the African National Congress, won a free and fair election, he was received and welcomed by world leaders at the amphitheatre of the Union Buildings in Pretoria. The Long Walk to Freedom is an autobiography written by Mandela. In this book, he writes about his experiences with apartheid, the events that occurred, and the uprising of the ANC. This extract from the book, however, focuses partially on the day of the inauguration and Mandela's speech on this historical day. Let us see what wonderful thoughts he had expressed on the 10th of May, 1994. For decades, the Union Buildings amphitheatre was home to the white supremacy. Fun fact, Pretoria is one of the 3 capital cities in South Africa. But on this day, Mandela was being applauded by leaders from across the world who had flown in to witness the day. Mandela was accompanied by Zenani, his daughter, to the stage where the world witnessed F.W. de Klerk swear in as the second deputy president, Thabo Mbeki as the first deputy president, and Nelson Mandela as the President of the Republic. In his speech, Mandela promised to uphold the constitution of the country and pledged to liberate all the people of South Africa from poverty, bondage, suffering, deprivation, gender, and other discrimination. He said,
"Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud."
After the speech, over the Union Buildings flew an array of South African jets, helicopters and troop carriers. Moments before, the South African Defence Force, decorated in ribbons and medals, saluted Mandela and pledged their loyalty. A marked highlight for Mandela was the playing of the 2 national anthems, Nkosi Sikelel' iAfrika and D-Stem, where the whites too had now have to sing the new anthem. The apartheid policy had left South Africans deeply wounded, and this wound would likely last for generations. Mandela owes his victory to all those who had paved the way before him, including the likes of Yusuf Dadoo, Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, Chief Albert Luthuli, Robert Sibukwe, and Bram Fisher. Mandela further elaborated in the book that in a country like South Africa, it was impossible for a man to fulfill all his duties for the roles he played, such as a son, a father, a husband, etc. He was more inclined towards serving his nation because if he wanted freedom, it was important that his people were also freed. He said,
"The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on on me.
The extract ends with a message that may leave you thinking. Mandela notes that the oppressor needs liberation just as much as the oppressed. The oppressor is a prisoner of hatred. One is not truly free if he takes away someone else's freedom. The ending of the passage leaves such a powerful message and a new perspective to ponder upon. Mandela says that an oppressor is not truly free if he takes away someone else's freedom. Hence, the oppressor too is oppressed. The oppressor is caged in his narrow-mindedness and prejudice, and he too ought to be freed just as the oppressed.